Okay, here's our third video from section 12.2. We're going to continue talking about median. Remember, median is the middle number. But this example number 6, is going to be a little more challenging because they don't just give you the set of data like before, where you just count to the middle or you find the median spot and count to that spot. They're going to give you a frequency distribution chart and then ask you to find the median or the middle. Now, you could figure out how many numbers you have by counting up the frequency, adding these all up. We end up getting 151 data items. Now, you could, I guess, write down all 150 numbers and then count finger, all the way to the middle. Or we can use the formula that we learned in the last video, the n plus 1 divided by 2, figure out what position our median is in, and then just find that position. Let's try to do that. So I know there are 151 data items here because I added up the frequency. I'm going to add 1 to that and divide by 2. I ended up getting 76. That does not mean that my median is 76. That really just means that my median is in the 76th spot. So now I've got to use this frequency distribution chart to figure out what number, what score, is in my 76th spot. Well, let's look. What number is in our first spot? Isn't it a 0? Well, what number is in our second spot? Isn't it also a 0 because 2 students got a score of 0? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of look at first to see what number is in my first spot, second spot, third spot, and so on. But I don't want to have to go to 151. We're just going to get started so we can kind of visualize what's happening. So we know that the score of a 0 is in the first spot and the second spot because 2 students said they were stressed at a rate of 0. I have a 1 in the third spot, and there was only 1 of those. I have 3 scores of a 2. So that's a 2, a 2, a 2. So far, I'm in the 6th spot. Now, instead of writing out all of these spots and writing out at least 76 of them so that I can find the 76th spot, let's try to use the frequency distribution chart instead. So in spots 1 and 2, I have this score. In spot 3, if I add those together, I have a score of a 1. If I add 3 more spots, isn't that 6 spots, right? Our score of the 2, 2, 2 is in my 6th spot. And remember, I want to get all the way to my 76th spot. So let's add 12. What's 6 plus 12? 18, right? If I have 18 and I want to add another 16 spots, I'm at 34. If I'm at 34 and I want to add another 18 spots, I'm at 52. I'm getting close. Remember, I want to get to the 76th spot. That means in the 52nd spot, I have a score of a 5, but I want to get all the way to the 76th spot. If I have 13 more spots to go, what's 52 plus 13? I got 65. I'm getting close. So that means in the 53rd spot, 54th spot, all the way to the 65th spot, I've got a score of a 6. Let's still try to find that 76th spot so I can figure out what my median is. What's 65 plus 31 more? I ended up at 96. Uh-oh, I went too far. And so think about what number is in the 76th spot. What score would you put in the 76th spot? Well, remember, in the 65th spot, I had a score of a 6. But in the 66, 67, 68, all the way to the 96th spot, I really had a score of a 7 in each of those spots. So wouldn't the score of a 7 be in the 76th spot, somewhere in between there? And so really, my median, without writing out all 151 numbers, would be the score of a 7. Not 76, but what score is in that 76th spot? Well, it's the score of a stress rating of 7. So my median is 7. Kind of tricky, a lot harder than just writing them all out and counting, but because our data set is so large, 151 numbers, we didn't really want to do that. So here's another way of doing it. Practice that because you'll see that on your exam. Let's do one more example in this video. We're going to look at example number 7. In example number 7, it says 5 employees in a manufacturing plant earn salaries of $19,700, $20,400, $21,500, $22,600, and $23,000 annually. But the manager, he has a salary of $95,000. Part A asks us to find the median salary of the 6 people. That's including the manager. Part B asks us to find the mean salary of the 6 people. Remember, median means the middle, and mean means the average. In order to find the median, remember we have to do something first with our numbers. We've got to put them in order, right? So put your numbers in order, and then find the number that's in the middle. On mine, I happen to get 2 numbers in the middle. So do you remember what we do with that? Remember, we add them together and divide by 2. So the median, the middle salary, is around $22,050, which is kind of true. If you compare all of these different salaries, the majority of them are between $19,000 and $23,000. So the middle sounds about right to be 22, even though the manager makes so much money. But what happens if you calculate the mean or the average salary for all these people? Remember, mean or average means you're going to add up all the salaries and you're going to divide by however many there are. I ended up getting an average salary of $33,700. To me, that's a little misleading. If I was a person working here, an employee, and I was making under $23,000, well, my average salary isn't even close to $33,000. It's misleading because the manager's salary is included, and because he makes so much more, it brings up that average. So again, you have to be really careful when you're talking about averages because sometimes those outliers could affect it. It could either raise it or lower it. So be careful with that.